hoping I'm literally just gonna, I know where people that are homeless usually hang out in the town. I'm gonna head down that road. If I see someone, I'll stop and have a chat. If you know, if they're willing to get in the car, then we'll go get some food together. I've just pulled up. I can see that someone's sort of actually just sat right by my car that's homeless. I put it on the other camera so you can see. Hold on. So he's there. So what I'm going to do is I'll go over and I'll speak to him, and yeah, I'll just explain what I'm doing, and I'll see obviously if he's interested in coming with me now. Then by all means he can jump in and we'll have a chat and hopefully get some food. All right.
I doubt I can walk that far.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I'm
make you
pretty
walk.
injured.
So I'll I'll explain what I'm doing. So I'm Chris,
Hi guys.
by the way. Nice
Paul.
to meet you, Paul.
Yeah.
So we'll go get some food, and you know, if you're happy to talk to me about sort of
Yeah, man.
how you've ended up, you know, living here and like.
Yeah. Well, I've been repeatedly on the streets actually. They keep putting me in supported housing, and that's
Yeah.
absolutely awful. And I'll get thrown out of there in 5 seconds anyway.
Well, how come?
Well, last time it was because they found a grinder on my side.
Yeah.
And you know, they threw me out for that, man. And you know, you're in supported accommodation because it lines the council's pockets.
Right.
And then you get kicked out of supported accommodation and you're homeless again. It's a vicious circle. They will throw you out of those places
Yeah.
for the slightest thing. You know what I mean? If they don't like you. It's a very state-controlled town. It has the problem really is with the council. All they have is available for people's homeless shelters. There's no consideration of privately rented accommodation. Every privately rented accommodation is for rich, affluent people.
Right.
Because there's a cut-turkey system by where you need guarantors and a reference. Now, if you don't have those things, i.e. you've been homeless for a while, there's no way you're getting a flat. Absolutely
All right.
no
So
way in the
what
world.
you're saying is you almost have to have already had a flat or have like a solid reference
Yes.
to renting in the past. So you get in a vicious circle where you can't start because
Yeah.
you have to have had previous tenancy.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you've got the money.
Right.
You know, so people, I think, they get frustrated and they end up spending all their money on heroin, which I don't do personally. I get high. Yeah, I don't do heroin.
Yeah. Is that like? Do you find that's quite a common thing though with homelessness? Do you find like it's linked to drugs? Do you find it's linked to family? Do you find what do you think?
It's linked to human relationships. Nearly always a woman involved, you'll find.
Really?
Yeah, man, messy relationship breakups. That's and that's how people start doing heroin because they say fuck it. You know.
Yeah, and that's what when I've seen other stories, you tend to see it could be a bad divorce. Everything could be going well, and then you go for a bad divorce, and then suddenly you're on the streets.
Yeah, or it can happen to anyone. You could just lose your home, man. You know, if you've got a dodgy landlord who likes to evict people.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to me.
Yeah.
You know, that was the last flat I had. There's no way I was getting a reference of that guy. So now I'm stuck out on the street. Or in supported accommodation if they actually deem, which they aren't at the moment, but if they deem it, you know, applicable, then the most I'm going to get is dodgy supported accommodation where I'll kick straight back out on the street then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
41 now.
Yeah. How long have you been living through supported accommodation and?
For the last 7 years, man, it's
7.
been like that.
Yeah. What were you doing before? Like through your 20s?
I was in a relationship. I've had my own place before many a time. That was more in Southampton though.
Okay. Yeah.
Bournemouth has got a massive homelessness problem. They like making people homeless.
Yeah. It's they've also started. They put like things in place to stop people sleeping on the benches and stuff, haven't they? I don't know if you.
Yep.
Do you know much about that?
And they made it basically illegal to be homeless. If you're sitting on the street, you're basically classed as begging and you're arrested.
I guess what you're saying is that the council aren't putting anything in place.
You know, and the thing is, begging shouldn't be illegal. It should be illegal to try and feed yourself.
No.
That's absolutely preposterous.
Do you find the police are helpful in any way? Are the authorities there for you at all? Do you find ever?
Well, hardly.
Really? Do you have any like experiences where they've been?
No,
Or like,
I've encountered a couple of coppers who just let me smoke a joint in peace on the street. You know what I mean? And said, look, he's not hurting anyone, I'm going to arrest him. And that was pretty sound.
yeah,
You know, they don't really do much, man. You know, like I got my phone robbed by, it was a £200 phone by this guy. He was wandering around on the street still. I can think of at least 20 dealers that operate in Bournemouth. Yeah.
Is there like clean needle exchanges and stuff?
Yeah, there is.
There is.
Yeah.
Show me one.
Oh, let's have a look. What looks nice? What looks nice? Ooh.
Alright, take your time.
Right. That Big King looks nice.
Which one?
Big King.
Bacon King, or where is it?
Big King. Or a steakhouse burger looks nice.
So you're cool.
Yeah, I'll go for a steakhouse burger and a Coke, please.
Alright, no worries. Do you are you on the streets at like Friday nights, Saturday nights? Is that like a good, or is it safe? Did you find?
Well, yeah, I sit by the bouncers, and so if anyone starts with me, they can take it up with my personal security.
Not bad, is it?
Yeah.
You know,
because I don't like to fight. That's that's not my. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, I let the bouncers do the fighting. You know, if anyone comes up and starts shit, they generally get mad.
Yeah.
That's on Friday and Saturday nights.
Yeah. Yeah, bud. Can we get the steak burger? Sorry. Is it Steak King?
Yeah, the steakhouse burger.
The steakhouse burger with a Coke.
Steakhouse burger.
Yeah, and then I'll just get some chicken nuggets, please.
How many? 6, 9 or 20?
6, and a latte.
You want fries with those stuff?
I want fries with the steak burger. Yeah, you like fries?
Yeah,
Just
please.
some nuggets and the latte, yeah?
Yeah.
£1.70.
Cheers, bud. Thank you. Steak burger sounds pretty mean.
Yeah, it sounds well nice.
Do you eat well? Like, do you get enough?
Yeah,
food?
yeah, I do actually. I eat pretty well.
That's good.
That's one thing I always say is the general public are generally pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Sometimes,
nice to hear.
sometimes they get in funny moods. But
So what's your plans now? Like, do you just hang out?
I don't tend to make plans.
You just go with the flow, and there's no women that you know are homeless near there, are there, that would be sort of willing to share a story?
I can probably find you
Well,
some
I mean, I don't want them to go out of their way, but it's just interesting to get a sort of female perspective, male, what's different, you know, if there's a similar sort of.
Yeah, I could.
But don't worry, only if they're there. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to trouble anyone. It's only like if they're there and they want to do it. It's nice to have a chat with people
Yeah,
and sort
sure.
of understand.
As a golden Becky, you'd be perfect. But
Yeah. Thanks, guy. Cheers. Any sugars? No, that's fine. Thanks, buddy. What's that? Steak burger. Oh, cool. All right, one sec. Oh, we'll pull up. Thanks, guys.
the most useful thing would be to give people cash, because then they can spend it either on food or on whatever, you know.
Oh, what? Like give them the choice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just going back to obviously.
People who are on junk.
That's it. You know, people almost are trying to do it probably because they're looking out for that person because they're worried they're just going to spend it on the wrong thing. So, you know, if they give them
Substance misuse, you see, yeah.
Yeah. Got a fair few engine warning lights coming on, so if we break down, I'm really sorry, but I think we'll be alright.
Okay, thank you. That's tasty.
Sorry, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
No worries. So your the other lot, do they hang out down by like the pier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of homeless people down by the pier.
Is that?
I don't really know them guys.
Oh, okay. Is Bournemouth? Yeah, it's not a bad place to be homeless. Do you think it's better than say London or Southampton or?
I was given a £3 drop as £3 coat as a drop once.
You were sorry, given a what?
£3 cashmere full length coat.
From where?
Someone just gave it to me.
On the street.
Yeah, guy in a suit. He goes, "You're about my size, aren't you?" Yeah.
Dropped you his
He was
fur
like,
coat. What did you do with it?
Yeah, cashmere coat. Wore it.
It's like a pimp coat. Yeah, God, that was nice as well.
Yeah.
You not got it now?
It got mashed up.
Mashed up.
Everything on the street gets messed up, yeah.
Oh right, yeah. I can imagine it's hard to keep things clean though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The council don't offer anything in the way of like laundrette services or like a clothes washing service. Nothing. Have you worked before ever, like when you were younger?
Yeah, I worked. I managed nightclubs.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Junior management, New York's nightclub in Southampton.
Yeah. Not something you'd ever want to get back into.
I think I would actually.
You would? Yeah.
Far cry from where I am now.
You never know what's around the corner though, really, do you?
No.
You know, anything can happen.
No.
Just sometimes got to be in the right place at the right time. Do you ever stay at the YMCA?
I got thrown out of the YMCA too. They found a crack pipe with someone else's stuff.
They found a crack pipe with someone else's stuff and they threw you
Yeah.
out.
Someone, I bumped into a girl on the street. She's going to look after my stuff. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? I'm just going to leave it here, you know, she didn't come back. So I thought, well, I'll take it back to the Y, and that way if I bump into her again,
Give it back.
yeah. Obviously I didn't go through her stuff, that would have been a bit rude. But apparently in her belongings there was a crack pipe.
Oh, right.
And that got me thrown out.
Why then? What's the sort of, how does it work after that? You just can't ever go back?
Yeah, can't ever go back, yeah.
Oh, really? It's like a lifetime ban?
Yeah. A crack pipe and someone else's stuff and grinder, you know, that's what I've been thrown out for. Oh, and not attending key working sessions, you know, all of them.
Yeah. What do they do on the key working sessions with you?
Give you lessons on how not to be a junkie, which I'm not in the first place.
Right.
So it's absolutely preposterous. Recognising signs of addiction, this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not addicted to any substance whatsoever.
Have you ever been?
No.
Yeah, never. That's good.
I recreationally smoke marijuana or have a line of Charlie, that's it. Neither of those are addictive substances. Well, not chemically.
Cocaine can be quite addictive.
It's more-ish. It's not chemically addictive. You don't get in if you don't have it.
You don't what, sorry?
You don't get in if you don't have it. It's not a chemically addictive substance. It's more-ish. It's like you have a line, you fancy another one.
Okay.
It's not.
So
I have to have another line of cocaine. You know what I mean? It's not like that at all.
yeah, usually I mean like it's a pattern, isn't it? If you get hooked on like cocaine, you want it more, even if like you stop a session, say the next day, do you ever crave it or not unless you're doing it? Does that make sense?
I don't really crave it, no. Like I say, I'm more fancy a line. You know what I mean? It's more like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's you know, every now and again I fancy a little line of Charlie.
Mm.
And weed obviously is addictive as well. It's you know, I wake up feeling great. I don't wake up feeling ill.
What if you smoke weed?
Yeah. I have a good night's sleep and I wake up feeling $1 million. Or someone who hasn't had their heroin wakes up feeling ill.
You get withdrawal symptoms though and things, don't you? And like, you know, it can you can it makes you shake and makes you feel cold, doesn't it? If you're not, but you go onto methadone, don't you? If you're trying to get off heroin.
Yeah, which is worse.
It's worse than heroin.
Yeah, it's worse than heroin.
What is in for your body?
It's more addictive than heroin.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you must see a lot of things when you.
I do see a lot of things. Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Well, they're in the gardens just there. Oh, there's Grant. He might be someone you can talk to. He went to
Well,
Oxford.
I mean, I don't mind talking to him, but I feel a bit bad for your friend that I've told him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind him. Grant. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Grant.
Got his
Right.
headphones in.
Oh, is he? There you go.
Yeah. Hey, Grant.
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 Is he deaf? All right, let's pull up.
He might be drunk.
Nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Grant. You alright?
Hey, bro.
How's it going? So, bit of a random
Hey,
one.
bro.
You don't want to be on camera though? It's up to you.
I'd like to. I prefer to do writing. and
Yeah, that's
recording.
fine. Yeah, no problem.
But a lot of that, if you can't do that, then just go for the camera.
Okay, well, I'll be in touch maybe because I'll speak to Paul and.
Yeah, we're not going to do it now then.
Well, I've got to do it now on. I'm doing like
Yeah,
on.
do it. Let's do it.
You want to get in?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to stay or do you want me to drop you to your mates?
I'll stay.
Yeah, do you want to jump in the back?
Yeah, alright.
Alright. No, well, you jump in the front. Paul, jump in the back. Alright. Happy days.
Oh.
Hey, mate. You alright, mate?
Hey. How's it going?
Okay, yeah, brief history. Yeah, I'm living in a council house. I've just done 4 months on the streets.
Yeah.
Pick me out of that. I do. The average team, the guys who come up, like go to the guys that go to the tents, basically. They pick me up out of that. and
What,
refer me on to
from the,
yeah.
in front of all the nightclubs, that area in there? The park?
Yeah, the big, the horseshoe.
Horseshoe
yeah.
Common?
Horseshoe Company, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Chris, by the way. Sorry,
Chris,
Grant.
Grant.
Yeah,
Grant.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, I was in the tent there.
Right.
I was there for I wasn't there for 4 months, but I was on the streets for 4 months. I had another tent in Dinglewoods in Westbourne.
Yeah.
And it's been the constant cycle of problems. I have a dual diagnosis. I have paranoid schizophrenia or schizophrenia, whichever one, and depression, as
Yeah.
well as substance abuse, misuse problems, like addiction problems. But I keep myself very disciplined. I actually handed in physical evidence of my clean test, 2 clean tests.
Good, yeah,
I
well
handed in physical evidence of 2 clean tests in a row.
Yeah.
To the council, to CMHT, who'd kind of abandoned me by that point, and I needed to request new members
Yeah.
for my CMHT, new CPN, community psychiatric nurse, psychiatrist.
Are you hungry?
I could do maybe a small bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you happy to go back, Paul?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to drop you to the park and then I'll take Grant and come back and meet you?
No, carry on. Oh, come on.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll come with you, bro.
Yeah, you're okay with that?
Yeah.
I don't want to keep your time if you two don't want to.
Thank you, brilliant,
know.
mate. It's very lovely to meet you, mate.
Well, you know.
I'm taken aback by this. But what's your name?
Chris.
Cool, Grant. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nice to meet you. I appreciate you wanting to do it. It's because I've come out, I met Paul and we went for a chat and.
I really want to politically. I was involved Paul, I'm sure, as he will tell you, he's been involved with the Occupy movement before.
Yeah.
I was involved with it briefly, but it was more
What-
what I felt that I was involved with, specifically what I was involved with was more less Occupy and more a kind of like local protest.
What was this
kind
towards?
of like a kind of individual thing, not
What-
Occupy
what-
specifically.
What was the Occupy
But
movement?
I left it because I was kind of in and out the night shelter, and
Yeah.
and I
Do you want your.
and I helped set up a homeless camp which had about 15 people in it.
Yeah.
After a couple of weeks of
That's
setting
good.
it up,
Well, it's nice of
I
you.
spent the first 2 weeks building it with the mate, but then I left after 2 weeks.
It's nice of you to build it though and
Yeah, to help with it.
help people.
Yeah, but I just felt at the end that I couldn't carry on anymore with the workload of it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Do you find, like, within, like, say, the homeless community, people help each other quite a lot? Is there a good sort of, like...
And there's common community, wouldn't you say, Paul, between the homeless community, between certain individuals that keep their morals. I think most people do,
Yeah.
and that's my opinion, Paul.
Yeah.
And I'd say most people do, but there is a few that there's unfortunately a few bad apples that spoil the bunch,
Oh, really?
and that gives a horrible impression to the main community about things.
Right. Yeah, well, that's kind of why
find it.
I'm doing this. I want to understand it. I want to try and sort of
I'll
understand how...
give you some of the examples.
Yeah, that'd be
and
great.
I don't mean to say that. I mean that literally. Yeah.
Yeah? But I mean, can you tell me like stories, like what's like nice things that
so-
people have done for you? And like,
Say nice things. You know, from the public, yes, there's been great things, but between the homeless community itself, you have a few groups in Bournemouth. You have a few not so much circles as kind of converging circles. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Oh, what,
like
so-
Venn diagram circles.
yeah,
You know, there's a few meeting points between different circles of people. That's-
yeah.
Because of my vulnerability, I know I've suffered a few times.
Oh, really?
From certain people taking us up on.
Yeah, I've got friends.
Yeah, Paul said he had his
Paul
phone
had
nicked.
himself, and he's been like gaffed by a couple of people.
Really?
Like stitched. like £20 gone now. I once or twice.
It's a shame. I don't like to hear like
But that does stuff.
it's not.
It shouldn't have to be a learning experience for people. It shouldn't be a learning experience in the first place.
No.
The level of life should be higher.
Yeah, I agree.
So it wouldn't
yeah.
have to be.
Yeah, I agree. It's a shame.
Yeah, I find it difficult to say no when they clock onto that.
It's nice.
Like I just gave Will that my last £2.
Yeah, I noticed that as we were leaving. He asked you how much money have you made for the day. You said £2, and he asked for it. You just gave it to him.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that's like a nice gesture. How much do you find you can make in a day just from being on the street
Just from being on the
in
streets.
this area?
For me personally, I don't. It depends what you need it for, and that comes down to what you're doing. But at the same time, like I personally, on an average, I try to only need about a tenner a day.
Okay. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I-
And that gets you by.
yeah.
What?
Yeah. When I was using that.
No, it's a lot more expensive, isn't it?
But I've been playing for 2 months.
Yeah. How are you finding it?
Oh gosh, so no, it's really good. It's really uplifting. It's really kind of it's like a mirror being put in front of you.
Is it like you can see yourself more?
You can see yourself more. It's clearer. Things are clearer.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to hear. It's good.
And I've been clean for 2 months. I do smoke a little bit of weed.
Yeah.
And a drink, but I was banging on snowballs, injecting massive like £50 hits into next to my penis in my body.
Yeah.
Bashing them in with massive needles.
How long for? How long were you using for?
I was using for about a year and a half in total,
Yeah. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
and I stopped about 2 months ago now. I'm 27.
Are you? You're 27?
Yeah, I'm 27.
Yes. You're a year older than me.
Alright.
Yeah.
Did you think I was younger?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I guess I probably thought you were probably similar my age, but you had a hat on when I was driving past you, so I couldn't see you from behind.
You can see. No, my hairline isn't receding. It's just that's my grandfather's gene, but it shouldn't recede too far.
Yeah.
If it was my mother's, apparently the hair comes from the mother's father. The recession gene comes from the mother's father. So, if your mother's father didn't have a bad hairline, then you won't. But I had a bad hairline to begin with. Like, sorry to say bad, but
You've got a lot of hair there.
it looked like it was receding from the age of about 12.
You say you need a tenner a day. I reckon you need more than that, sensibly.
You do.
I do, yeah.
You do because you need to chip in for certain things that I don't do anymore.
Right.
Possibly. Is that right?
Well, there is that to it, yes. I do
There must be that
occasional
element to it,
sacrifice.
and it's not every day.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like, for instance, I'm an artist, so I buy art materials,
Art material.
Art
You
material.
didn't say you were into art.
I thought you were into your
I'm a
music
graphic.
more and your turntables. You want to get the turntables right?
Yeah, I actually do own a set of turntable store set.
But you need
Have
to
you?
buy a new one, don't you?
Yeah, I do need to buy some MP3.
Okay. Well, I was talking is that artistic in a broad sense of artistic then? Yeah. People like me and him, but a lot of people don't. I mean,
Wait, how hungry are you?
gosh, I'd like just like a cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger, yeah. And drink.
Cheeseburger and drink.
Yeah. Should I just get you a meal, like a
it cheap?
cheeseburger meal, and with like water or something,
Yeah.
or a Coke.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Hey, bud, can I just get a cheeseburger meal, please?
Yeah, sure, what drink?
Coke. Yeah, Coke.
Yeah, sure, anything else?
No, that's it, thanks. Oh, you're alright, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, cheers. How old are you when you became homeless?
First became homeless, I was 18. I was homeless first at 18, but there's been on and off points. But for the last 4 months was the longest extended period of time I've had this. I'm 27.
Yeah. Thanks, bud.
That's it.
You don't have any family?
So I'm in the area. My brother lives in the area. My dad lives in Dorchester. I've
Thanks,
got
mate.
another brother who lives in London.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And my mother lives up in Lambeth.
Hey, what's stopping you moving in back in with your mum? Just not a history of things. Thanks, bud.
it would possibly be the fact that, you know, smoking can come into play.
Yeah.
If you smoke, it
You're gonna be
kind
right here. I'll stop the car before you spill. Yeah.
and it's a new husband in a sense. So you know, I think not smoking, you know,
As a pattern,
would be necessary. Yeah, and I smoke a lot. I smoke 25 a day.
So I mean, you're smoking, yeah.
25.
It's expensive though. That's the other thing, isn't it? You smoke that much.
You know, when I was
10 a
on the
day.
streets, I was picking up about 20 fags a day. 20 fags off
Oh,
the
right, is that what you're
off the-
doing?
off
So
the-
you
off the
pick them
street.
up off the floor and just
I got about 20 fags out of that, and that was every day. That's a lot. That's 2 hours out of your day to
Just
work on
picking
that.
up,
To work
yeah.
on to put the time aside to do that. We don't have the money, but that was also when I was spending money, I suppose, on things that I shouldn't have been. So.
But you're trying to sort yourself out now, and
After the last 2 months,
Yeah.
I've not been.
I can imagine it's been a tough 2 months. But so well done. It's good,
Thanks.
you
You're
know.
finding you get more jobs as well. And, if they see you
Big
pull things like
presentation,
cigarettes rather
presentation.
than picking them up on the floor,
Yeah.
and you're actually
They-
spending money on things like normal
yeah, they
Yeah.
weren't. They weren't like it. They employ it. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you work again now if you could, or would you want more time?
I would like to be set up with a place to live so that an employer could contact me and I could. So
Oh,
I knew
have
where
an
I was
address.
moving from and back to.
Yeah.
Every day. So I knew where I was moving from.
Do you want the lid on that? Is that easier?
Actually,
Where is the lid? Did they not give you one? You just pulls.
No, they didn't.
Oh, there you go. Just try
Okay,
that one on.
thank you. Thank you.
You're right with it.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thanks. So what I'm saying is, okay, I'm saying that, you know, that, you know, working wise,
There you go.
thank you very much.
Is that lid on right?
Yeah, that should
Yeah.
be. I needed to kind of prove my abstinence time, and to a degree with the authorities, you need to do that. And then I got, like I say, Outreach found me in my tent and took me into. But it's only because, also, I have to explain this,
Yeah.
the mental health aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I have my CPN, my community psychiatric nurse, was providing conflicting accounts, and this has been backed up legally. I went to Shelter, the charity. They have paralegals there,
Yeah.
and there was a paralegal that helped me get myself back into accommodation,
That's nice.
as
Yeah.
well as me providing clean tests.
Oh, I
Things
see.
like
So
that.
it was
It's a combination
Yeah,
of me
yeah.
providing
Okay.
clean tests
I think that's fair
and
enough,
the
though, isn't it?
paralegal
Yeah.
help from
They
Shelter.
put you in accommodation if you can prove you've been clean and.
You have to be seen. You have to have evidence that you've
Yeah.
put in some effort. You can't just say you've put in some effort.
Yeah. No, that's
Um,
fair enough.
But I think a lot of the reasons why people get made homeless in the first place are totally unfair.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things that I'm trying to understand is you know, it can be from anything, can't it? Because I was speaking to Paul,
They can be.
and he said a lot of the
That's
time it's to do with a bad breakup.
breakup,
Yeah.
family breakup.
Yeah.
Gosh. Then you got relationships. You can kind of have a breakup with yourself. You know, you can have a real kind of personal split in
Yeah.
yourself, and gosh, so
that's-
I give you permission from myself to talk about
And
to other
use-
people
and use
in my
anything that
case,
we-
and to use anything
And like talk about it.
if it's
Yeah.
if it's going to go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting, and I mean
if it's useful,
yeah, well, it's nice to hear that you're making an effort on
Yeah.
yourself.
And we crash as well, though, mate. And I
Well, I
understand you
crash
might not
on
want
Wolseley
to tell
Common,
us
don't
Is that what
Tell
you
me
crashed?
what you
Just
do,
watch
yeah.
it. Really?
Yeah.
what in a sleeping bag.
Bloody hell.
Oh, my diva got nicked last night.
Your dealer.
My diva.
Oh, you do.
Someone stole your duvet.
Yeah, man.
Oh God, mate. If you've got a sleeping bag, it's good to have a blanket. I prefer blankets to duvets on the streets all the time.
Blankets are better.
Blankets are much better for me.
So, Grant, I'll ask you what, because I was speaking to Paul about it. When people say, "Oh, I'd rather give a homeless person food," is
Well,
that helpful? Is that really helpful to you? I know obviously it's a nice gesture
Good question.
because
Really good question. I think it depends on the case, and that sounds a little bit, but I think if someone needs it for food and they've justified that they're hungry, then yes. And if they need it for maybe, there's other things apart from food. That's the other thing I think people should understand, is that it's not just food or money for drugs.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to buy a toilet roll because you need to wipe your fucking ass in the woods, or something like that. You need a bit of shower gel just to like soap.
Is there showers and things that you
Or
can
lighters,
use?
lighters.
Yeah, lighters would make sense.
Yeah. So the soup. Yeah, the soup. That's what we're going to say. Sorry about with regards to what people provide. It comes down to us almost. There are soup kitchens provide certain things, but sometimes there are times when you need a little bit of money for something else. Sometimes people don't give you that money on the
problems
basis.
and things.
Yeah, and some people don't understand that and think it's about drugs, and so you don't get anything money when you're completely clean and not even
that's the
wanting it
thing.
for drugs.
Especially like what you
And
said,
that's
where you're
really unfair, and
you're
that,
trying
that
to-
kind
you're-
of makes it winds you up.
Yeah,
mentally.
of course. Yeah,
But
like you
at the
said,
same time,
yeah.
I can understand why people would think that, because of the amount of money that gets sucked into the black hole that is the drugs industry.
Yeah, I think
But you see,
like you said, people assume that it's going to be for drugs, but when you're going through what you're going through, where you're
Yeah.
recovering, the one thing you need at the minute is a bit more support, maybe
it's just
from
a
people.
little bit of 50 pence, like just
Yeah.
to get some toilet roll, or like some shower gel, or deodorant, or like toothbrush, or
Yeah.
toothpaste, or like, you know, or lighter, or some Rizlets maybe. Like,
Yeah,
you know, sometimes you need them.
yeah.
Even right down to candy from the sweet shop, you know.
Just some
Or
candy,
just, yeah. I mean,
Fair enough.
Okay. Or coffee. And that's all the times that people say, you know, that it's a false excuse.
Where did you grow up? Around this area.
Capity.
So did you go to what school did you go to?
Capity's middle, Capity's first school, and Paul Grammar.
You went to Paul Grammar.
I went to Paul Grammar.
God. You didn't fancy college or anything, or I suppose you said once you were 18 you
Um,
were kind of...
I went to Oxford University after sixth form at Paul Grammar.
Did you?
Went to
You went to Oxford?
Studied English literature and language at Trinity College, Oxford for 2 years, and then I quit. I deferred twice. I quit twice, went back. Quit once, went back. I quit 2 times. This is my second deferral from Oxford University. It's another vacation. It's another experience. It's massive. Like, I want to go obviously because I want to get back there. I want to prove it to myself.
Yeah, it's a big thing, isn't it?
It's
Being
too
able to
massive
prove
in a
people
way.
that you can do
It's
something.
gigantic. It's like a mountain facing it, like a degree from Oxford University, like a mountain. Yeah, you have to climb it. I got halfway up that mountain.
What was it that stops it?
I wasn't diagnosed with my mental illness at the time.
Okay.
I wasn't getting any help for any kind of anything else.
So obviously when you're in uni, it's a lot of stress.
Yeah, it was a lot of stress at the time. In terms of drugs, it was just weed and drink. And it wasn't but no, in combination with massively because of the combination with my mental health, because of a massive downturn in my mental health, and breaking up with my girlfriend, the divorce from my parents, and everything.
Yeah. That's similar to a lot of the lads.
I couldn't get back up from that. I completed halfway through the second year, so I've gotten literally halfway through the 3-year course. I was back on the streets, mate.
What, were you in the streets in
That
London?
was the first time.
Right.
But before that, you know, it's the time that's kind of halfway, because in a way, because there was one time when I quit the first time, halfway through my first year, repeat if you want, of my first year, halfway through that, after the first term, around February, March maybe, February, I asked my mum came up to visit me with my
In Oxford?
new stepfather. So,
In Oxford?
they came up to visit me in Oxford.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said, look, I can't do this right now because of my mental health.
Yeah.
This was before I even really smoked weed at all.
Yeah.
Any drugs at all. This was before that.
How quickly did you find though that drugs deteriorated your mental health, or did you find they actually
Only after
helped you
horrible
cope?
experiences, it was partly used as a mental medicated process. If you let me explain.
Yeah, go on.
quickly. I then asked my stepfather and my mother came up to visit me halfway through my first year at Oxford, and they said I couldn't come back home. was not through my or in my stepfather's house, 2 hours away at the minute. The fact that I smoked tobacco at the time made just tobacco may have played a part in there, not being in room for me.
It doesn't seem a big thing to smoke cigarettes, so
No,
it's
but
a
it's
shame.
for ex-smokers.
Right.
My stepdad's a massive ex-chain smoker.
Okay.
So, and there was no extra room in the original house, but then, which he now rents out, and then it's my stepdad's house, which is where my brothers grew up while I was during these couple of years. It's still got a bit heavy there, not due to me using or drinking, but because of my mental health. He couldn't cope with it, and he's going to put his family through it. His family, my mother's brother's family. You know? I know their family. We always went there at Christmas, and they still couldn't put up with mental health.
Have you?
This was before I was even drinking like excessively. He will tell you that. You know, that it wasn't about me drinking excessively or using drugs at all. It was my mental health.
What he said? He can't cope with it.
He could, and his wife, my non-blood, my aunt, my non-blood aunt, and his children, their children. See what I mean? The politics. Yeah. So I went back. Then I repeated the year. I got 2-1/1st
At Oxford.
First year. Yeah.
You got 2-1.
I completed 2-1/1st in Oxford.
Incredible.
First year.
Do that. Yeah.
First year. Then I went back, and I got it halfway through the second year, and I quit.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be quite a common thing with uni that it's a real mental stressful thing to go through, and
yes, it is.
Yeah. The expectation is always really high, especially going to Oxford, like that sort of level.
Yeah. It was huge pressure.
Yeah.
It's huge pressure. It's pressure from yourself.
Yeah.
Mostly, because you have to put pressure on yourself. I think no one gets into Oxford that doesn't put pressure on themselves. You need to have discipline about yourself to do that. I put in so many sleepless nights of just studying just to get in there.
Yeah, of course you need to.
But it's pointless now talking about that because I've just come off the streets, for fuck's sake.
You're almost just placed from place to place. You never settle. Yeah.
It's always been like that for the last 7 years of my life. It's always been around the Bournemouth Port area. I'm from this area. I love this area.
It is a nice area.
It is a nice area.
That is one thing.
You shouldn't discount it because it is a very plush area to live in.
Oh, you what?
Jealousy, Bill?
What's that? Yeah, what I might do then, guys, I might give you guys some money. Can I get one of your numbers? I'd really like to follow this up.
I've got
be able to come out again and see you and just.
Yeah, sure.
If there's something I can do one day, like, would you ever go and see your mum?
She comes down and visit on Wednesday.
So you do get contact with her.
Yeah,
it's not a place if you can't get to her, because that would be something I could do.
We'll come down and visit, like, no. Right, we'll take your number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would help me to get a third opinion.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, should we jump out? Yeah. Well, it's funny earlier when we were shouting and you didn't hear us. We were like driving there.
It's that noise there. My mind tends to kind of. I'm quite an oral-minded person like that. But taste-wise, smell-wise, and like normally.
Alright, I'll be in touch. Wow, that was it's quite something. I found that quite. He went to Oxford. All right. Cheers, guys. Well, I didn't expect that I'd be having that chat with someone that got a 2-1 on their first year in Oxford, but both quite different characters. But Grant was actually very likable, I found. I think obviously you could tell he's going through quite a bad addiction. problem or ex-problem. I guess he said he's been clean for 2 months, but that was quite sad to actually talk to someone who's going through that sort of life struggle. But I'm going to I got his number, so I'll get in touch with him again soon. You know, I might, you know, I'll do a follow-up with where I go and see him again. It's a shame that it's a shame that I just felt like he's such a likable person. You know, he's just obviously either made some bad life choices, like you said, it's linked to drugs. Yeah, that was tough. But yeah, I'll get back to him.